Hello, Dallas golfers. Brady Hawkshurst here, and this is edition number 2 of our podcast. There's a new face here with me today. I want to introduce you to Austin Chen. Austin is our director of marketing here at Dallas Golf and is responsible for much of the social media content that we send out, all the what's in the bag features, all the emails, putting together all the promotions. So, Austin, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me, Brady.
Yeah, and so President's Cup, that's kind of the big thing going on in golf right now. We are 2 days through, but only about a third of the way through in terms of the competition and points. What has struck you so far about President's Cup? You've been watching it?
A little bit. I have been watching it. What struck me the most is how it seems like the international team is much more prepared for this course than the U.S. team. Like they feel like they know exactly where they want to hit it off the tee, and sometimes the U.S. is just trying to overpower it. That's what a lot of people are trying to say about this, which is why they're in the deficit right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good point. Certainly, the U.S. team has had some issues coming in. They were busy in Tiger's event in the Bahamas, long travel, a couple of guys' injuries, some late additions. The international team has been in Australia longer, adjust to the travel time zone. They're from different parts of the world, so it may not have been as big as adjustment anyway. So I agree with you. That's a very good point. They certainly have seemed more prepared. One of the big stories coming in was Patrick Reed.
Yes.
You have thoughts about what happened with Patrick Reed?
It seems very similar to what he's been like. He's been accused of several infractions already, like dating all the way to college, where people are saying he did this and that, and so it's not surprising. The only surprising part was that he did it in front of cameras because it's like a very limited field. So you think somebody would definitely like tell him, "Hey, don't do this. Don't do anything that you normally do."
Did you like the pick of Patrick Reed, or did he earn his way on? Do you remember? He was a captain's pick, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Okay, so he didn't earn his way on. He was a captain's pick, we think.
So we could check with that a little bit later.
If he's a captain's pick, I would not have been in support of that decision because of somewhat how disgruntled he was and perhaps disruptive he was at the Ryder Cup the last time he was put in a team environment. So I would have given him a chance to cool off, let him think about how he wants to handle himself. It certainly means a lot to him, and that could have been perhaps a moment for him to reconsider how he handles himself. Not that he necessarily needs my advice on that, but
it just happened right after.
It seems like he wasn't necessarily helpful at the last team event he participated in. So not necessarily from a golf playing perspective, but from a team building perspective, and that's important, the camaraderie that the guys have. And I think that speaks to kind of what you said about the international team being more prepared, is that they seem to be a more cohesive team at this point so far through the competition.
Yeah, well, he hasn't won yet. Like him and Webb Simpson are going out again today for like the third time in a row. I don't know about that pairing. Like I don't think I would just continue with that.
Yeah, I haven't loved the pairing with Webb myself. I would have much rather seen Patrick probably play with Tiger.
Yeah,
he was a captain's pick with the rules controversy. Wherever you stand on that, in my opinion, it was pretty blatant, pretty obvious that it was a rules violation. I didn't appreciate his, I didn't do anything wrong there, attitude. It was pretty clear that you did. You need to realize that and own up to that. And then with all that being said, being captain's pick, I would have preferred Tiger put him with himself.
Yeah.
Tiger's used to the scrutiny, the bigger spotlight. I think it would have been a great opportunity for him to come along. Patrick, who was going through some troubles for his actions, had the captain put his arm around him and lead him out into the mix.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's their best team going right now. It's Justin and Tiger.
Yeah, so it is.
What would happen if it was just Tiger?
But is that because of Tiger playing so well? I mean, the first day Tiger made 6 birdies. Tiger would have won with anybody having made 6 birdies. The player who played the worst would have had a winning record that day playing with Tiger.
Yeah.
So, that dynamic wouldn't have changed. The question would have been, was Justin playing well enough to have partnered with somebody else to help get another point in that disappointing first session when we lost 3-1. So, do you like Tiger sitting the morning round?
I think he needs
on day 3?
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
He's trying to be everywhere at one point.
Right.
He is the captain at the end of the day, so he's got to do something. Do you think it's surprising that Bryson has only gotten 1
No,
play? No,
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Bryson has put himself, in my opinion, in an awkward position with the break that he's taken off to try to bulk up. I think Bryson was a giant question mark coming in because he hadn't played. Is he game sharp?
Yeah, he's definitely like testing new equipment. Like he's using like a 5-degree driver.
Yeah,
right now,
that's a
like,
little unique. So no, that doesn't surprise me that Bryson hasn't played and is sitting again. I think when Bryson is sharp, he's certainly one of the best players in the world and would warrant being out there maybe the maximum. But with his own situation around his own personal discovery and exploration of his golf, bad timing for him to be out there that much.
Definitely.
I would have liked to have seen Tiger go out this morning and sit this afternoon. I think that might have made it a little more difficult for the U.S. team to figure out the pairings in the afternoon because he's the captain, obviously, but he's the guy who's playing the best.
Yeah.
And you're down. So the sooner you can get back to level if they expect to win, the better. And I think he'd have been a big asset to that.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen him put himself out first. Maybe with Patrick Reed, like I said, I would have liked to have seen that pairing. Let Tiger, take the young guy under his wing and say, "Here's how you handle the spotlight. Here's how we do this."
Yeah,
and let's go get a point. I think that'd be a great pairing for the U.S. team that could produce another win. Just what I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, Patrick's up to the whole villain row because he did the whole little shovel thing yesterday and all that normal stuff that he does. Yeah. Have you had any like match play experience or anything crazy stories from your playing?
No, I haven't played a ton of match play in my life. I grew up. We had a city tournament that was match play. I never did real well in it, so. No, I don't have a ton of match play experience. I mean, I have played match play a few times, and I don't approach it all that differently from stroke play. I know some people say that there's a big dynamic change. I tend to disagree because in match play, if you want to win the hole, you have to, and this is more the 4-ball scenario, you have to make the best score. And so I strategize my way around a golf course and how I can do that. So, taking big risks to me, not an important part of match play, in my opinion. In team games, you can if your partner's safe. You can be a little more of a risk taker if you've got somebody there, but it's also very helpful not to take risks. And was the international strategy. If we can have 2 putts on it every hole, that increases our chances to win the hole. So I think you strategize about how you can make the best score, and that doesn't vary from stroke play to match play. How can I make the best score? Taking a lot of risk in match play, which I think some people think they can do, doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and that would be like more the American way of thinking with like we can get that extra stroke by going aggressive on this player, that player. Right. And then it runs out on down and you're like, gotta just recover.
If your partner's safe, you can do that if you're the second to play. I like the strategy of, if our side is away, we have somebody closer to put the pressure on. I think it's always more difficult to answer somebody who makes a putt. So that dynamic is fun to watch. When our side is away, it'd be my turn. I'm further away, but you're closer to the hole. Then you go ahead and play to try to put the pressure on the other guys. I think that's a fun dynamic of match play. That's not necessarily risk taking. That's still, everybody trying to make their best score, and that's where I fall into line. I don't see a big difference in the dynamic there. The thing that's fun for me to watch and to think about the pairings is the alternate shot.
Yeah.
It's you got to play the same golf ball, or guys, golf balls have different flight characteristics. How to get into a rhythm if you're not playing with somebody who plays the same ball as you and it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but Tiger's ball was in the rough, I think on 18, and it had the Tiger logo on there, and it's like, JT's a Pro V1 guy. So how does he get along with playing Tiger's softer, spinnier ball? Does that affect? That kind of stuff's fun to me.
Yeah, that's interesting to bring up. Yeah, especially with all these pairings that they have, like a Kuchar and a Dustin Johnson.
Sure.
They're not playing the same game usually.
Right. So yeah, Kuchar's pretty different style of player than DJ. They both work the ball the same way. They both tend to hit cuts. Balls that fall right. But what are you most excited about watching going forward? Are you interested in the long day Saturday later
Yeah.
today with the 4 morning matches, 4 afternoon matches? Or are you more interested in the singles?
I'm always more interested in the singles. I think it's really interesting how they always bring it, like the pairings of who comes out first and who they have as the last guy.
Where do you think Tiger's going to send himself?
Probably early, I think.
I think he's got to go early, right? He's got to go in the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, because he's a captain. He's got to go around afterwards.
He's got to go get his point because we're down. I'm
Yeah.
assuming we'll still be down starting the singles. Hopefully it'll be close.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the American team. But I think he's got to go early, right?
Yeah, he has to, I feel.
Get a point and then get out and help his troops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird if he's last. Like, is he going to cheer the whole morning and then go out and do his thing? I don't think he could do that. I think he might be like too amped up or something by that time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably standard protocol. You try to put your heavy hitters in the 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through when it starts to maybe secure it.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave your weakest players for the very end in case it does come down to a 1-point deal. But you got to get some points early, more than likely.
So you got to figure out where to put Dustin and Bryson right now.
Yeah, Dustin seems to be playing well. I haven't looked at Bryson's scorecard, the match he played, but it'll be interesting. And Dustin was a big question mark coming in because he hadn't played. He had a knee surgery.
Yeah, he started out rough. I think the first day was bad for him. So it was a little bit better yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's not playing this morning.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow morning, excuse me,
Yeah.
Saturday morning the match. So, I don't know, kind of interesting. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's I'm excited to watch, see who wins. Excuse me, and hopefully I'm obviously rooting for the American team. And
let us know who you think is going to win or who you think is going to finish or where they're going to place at the singles and any other information that you want us to do more podcasts about. Basically, we're more than happy to do an episode. I know somebody wanted to do shafts, that they wanted us to do a review of some shafts, so we could do like a price point and talk about a couple of shafts. That's something we could do in the future.
Yeah, we will certainly begin to do some product reviews on some of these podcasts. So send us your suggestions. What are some things you want to hear about? In our building here, you may have seen, I think, on our last podcast, we've got upwards of 80 years experience in the golf industry amongst the core members. So send us some ideas of things you want to hear us talk about, give you some information on, and we'll be happy to help accommodate that.
All right.
Thanks very much, Dallas Golfers.